Welcome to my stream. Okay, give me a second. I need to monitor my stream as it's going. If I can find it. There we go. Better turn the sound down. Or better yet, see if I got the sound enabled. If I can find it. There we go. Yep. I might have to turn up the gain on my mic again. A little bit of a delay there. Playing streaming subsistence. I've been playing this a while. As you can see about how much I got built. This is a paper I've been using to learn the game. But I thought it'd be a good one to allow me to explain why I haven't been uploading content for a long time. It's basically mathematically content in depth, so it'll take me a few minutes to explain. After the stream, you take me watch while I do it. I think I'm in between the games now. That way it don't drown out my voice, because my voice is too weak to do yet. Okay, in February, shortly after I started using Rumble, February 22, I come down with COVID. The Omicron variant. Wasn't much, 3 days of mild head cold symptoms, but the long COVID was exhausting for about a month. By the time I recovered from that, I had a sore throat. I went to my doctor about it. He said because of my weakened immune system from COVID, it was a common bacterial infection, he believed. Gave me antibiotics for 2 weeks. I took it. And actually got worse instead of gotten better. At the end of the 2 weeks, went back to him. He gave me a different type of antibiotic. And took it for 2 weeks. By the time I got done taking it, my throat was so sore that I couldn't sleep good at night. I was struggling to get any sleep at all, passing out with exhaustion, and I couldn't hear anything. And so I set up an appointment for Ian, even though his throat specialist. It took over a month to get in to see him. After a few minutes of examination, the throat specialist said that I had severe tonsillitis, and he gave me 2 antibiotics. Wait for him. And over the next 2 week period, well, they didn't do any good. So then on my return visit to him, he scheduled me for a tonsillectomy. The reason I couldn't hear is because my throat was so swollen that my ear canals were closed up. So during the tonsillectomy, he also was going to install tubes in my ears. to clear that up. Well, 2 weeks later, which happened exactly 2 weeks after my 54th birthday, I went in and had tonsillectomy, both tonsils removed. And let me pause the game. And I woke up after tonsillectomy, found out he already told my wife, but he told me that he'd never seen throat in his condition, the condition that mine was in, that didn't have cancer, which is scary. So he scheduled me for a biopsy 2 weeks after the tonsillectomy. 2 weeks later, the left side of my throat had healed up fine, about as what was expected to in 2 weeks, but the right side of my throat showed no signs of healing whatsoever, which was unusual to say the least. We did the biopsy, and it was 3 weeks before we got the test results back. Showed no signs of cancer. Where I live, it's an hour and about 15 minutes drive to see specialists like that, but this particular one held office once a week in my town, so it's only a few minutes to his house. On my follow-up visits, we went to the 1 day a week that he had here in town. Well, in town, the hospital we have is not very good, and so if you get a CT scan or something there, it's like you can go in, get it done, get out, and have the results almost immediately. So on my follow-up visit to get the test results, he sent me next door to the hospital, got a CT scan, with contrast, came back to his office, he already had the results, showed no signs of anything other than the fact the right side of my tonsils had not started healing yet. He referred me to the University of Arkansas Medical Center in Little Rock, 4-hour drive, for further consultation and testing. So, after initial visit there, they scheduled me for another biopsy. I went in, had a biopsy. They also did biological testing to see if I had any infections in my throat, and they found a couple of deep tissue infections. I had to take another month off work after 5 weeks for the tonsillectomy to have it taken care of, because I had to have a peripheral intravenous catheter put in for a 24/7 antibiotic IV drip done at home for one month or 4 weeks. Once that was done, it cleared up that infection, but still my throat wasn't healing very much and nothing going on. After a couple more CT scans at the University Medical Center, they're still not finding any signs of cancer. Well, by December, my tonsil had finally mostly healed up, but during this whole time, I couldn't eat any solid food. I've been drinking, living off of basically protein shakes, meal replacement shakes. And to drink them was like pouring lava down my throat. So I'd been prescribed a concoction of lidocaine, antacid, and something else that keeps you from allergic reactions from happening. Because I had to gargle it deep in my throat, and I'd swallow it. And it made it safe to swallow. It numbed my throat for 10 minutes so I could slam the protein shakes down, rinse it out, take some ibuprofen, and then be hit by the pain, but the ibuprofen would knock the pain back after about 10 or 15 minutes. So between when I had the surgery in June to January, I lost 80 pounds. I went into I spotted what looked like a growth at the base of the right side of my tongue in December, the last week of December, first day of January. I went to the ER about it. I spent 6 days in the hospital, and while I was there, they started to do a swallow study on me, determined it was unsafe for me to try to swallow anything anymore, so they installed a feeding tube in my stomach and did one more biopsy. 2 weeks later, on the follow-up biopsy, they still found no signs of cancer in my throat, and the cancer specialist at UAMS had decided that it's most likely a autoimmune disorder. So they referred me to a rheumatologist in a town that's an hour away from home instead of having to travel 4 hours down to Little Rock. About a month after that, month and a half, I got in to see a rheumatologist because there's only one or two of them in the town. And they ran a bunch of tests. They also figured out, in consultation with this infectious disease specialist I'd seen to get rid of that deep tissue infection, they diagnosed me with Vincent's angina, which is a chronic infection of the tonsils and mucous membranes of your throat. It's hard to get rid of. They treated me for that, and the infectious disease specialist also gave me the 6-day packs of steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. I don't forget Metro something. I forgot the name of them. But they reduced the swelling in my throat and also reduced the pain a lot. After 2 months of oral antibiotics and taking these steroids, the doctor said that while I was cleared of that Vincent's angina, there was something else still going on. He thought it might be I'd already been cleared by the rheumatologist on the systemic autoimmune disorder, so he referred me to another one that actually specializes in the autoimmune disorders, thinking it might be a localized one. He also asked the original ENT specialist that did the tonsillectomy to do another biopsy and to do a scope on my throat. Well, I went into surgery for the 4th biopsy in July. When it was sent to the lab, the infectious disease specialist intercepted it and sent it out to a different lab for different types of testing, and he did a broad spectrum of testing. In August, the results came back in. They found that I had ABV positive lymphoprolific disorder. ABV positive is or EBV positive is Epstein-Barr virus, which is, to explain it, from what I read from CDC and Mayo Clinic's website, it's a virus that typically somebody gets when they're young, youth, early adulthood, teenage years. It gives you a couple of days mild sore throat, and it goes dormant in the B cells of your lymphatic system. If at some time in the future you get immunocompromised, like stem cell replacement therapy or transplant patients that have to take immunosuppressants, it can go active. When it goes active, it can cause all kinds of problems with the lymph system. Several different lymphomas, lymphatic cancer, and there's a couple other diseases it can cause. Well, I was referred to an oncologist because of it, and he sent my samples out for a bunch of other testing related for lymphoma, and they found I have two different mutations in my B cells in 2 different areas of my lymph system, and Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I have 3 different types of lymphoma. treat this, he's given me a chemotherapy treatment that they call the CHOP. It's 3 different chemo therapies taken together with it's with a steroid pack that you take the first day of chemo and for a total of 5 days. And that's why I'm actually able to do this right now, because the steroids are still working on me. I just had my second chemo treatment Tuesday, but today was the last day of my steroid packs, so it will be a couple of days before they wear off and I get hit with the effects of the chemo, which last round, my first round was Monday morning, they wore off, and I didn't want to do nothing but sleep for 4 days. I felt like crap and exhausted, nothing but sleep. I even lost 5 pounds during that period because I didn't even want to eat. Anyway, during this period from June until the June of 2022 until about 2 or 3 steroid packs into it, after the Vincent's angina diagnosis and I started taking those steroids back, I had no voice. I couldn't talk over a whisper, and even talking was painful, so I all but quit talking, only speaking when I absolutely had to. Right now, thanks to the chemo, it's knocked back the inflammation, and it feels like it's helped a lot with the growth at the base of my throat, at the base of my tongue that's been causing a lot of pain. It's only very mildly painful to talk, but my voice is not back to normal yet. I'm still very weak in it. I'm trying to do content, so if you please excuse the low volume. OBS software I'm using for streaming and recording is already turned up to 300% on my mic just to be able to do this and for you to be able to hear me. That's the reason why since February of 2022 I have not been doing any content. Probably Monday I'm not going to be able to do anything for about a week. Probably start back recording the Space Engineers next Saturday series that I'm trying to do. Hopefully I can figure out what bug's causing the ore detector and my hand drill not to work, or I'll put in a mod that might help. I'm going to do one more recording on that today and try to do one tomorrow, and I'll upload them. But I don't expect to do anything between Monday and next week, next Saturday. So I apologize for that, but I don't know what effect the chemotherapy treatments that I'm going through are going to have on me. I know what the side effects of them are long term, and the light ones and the heavy ones, and some of them are pretty bad. I'm already shedding. I told my wife I'm shedding like a damn dog because I'm going to lose all my hair. I know that already. But as for the chemo treatments, it's three chemicals taken together with the steroid pack, 3 weeks apart for 6 times, and then when that's over, I do a PET scan in a couple weeks. That's where they inject a radioactive dye in you that reacts with the cancerous cells in your body, which the B cell, 2 types of B cell lymphoma is technically cancer, and so is Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's just cancer of specific cells in your lymphatic system. It's not a general cancer that infects the tissue. But it makes them stand out, cancer cells stand out. I took the PET scan before I started chemo. I'm taking a midline PET scan on, I think it's December 8th before my next treatment, to see how the treatment's going. And if everything's going along fine, I should get 6 treatments, 3 weeks apart, and then follow it up with 1 radiation treatment to consolidate everything. Hopefully, my voice and my ability to do live streams and uploads will improve over time, but I can't guarantee that. Now, I'll play the game a little bit, discuss it. If y'all have any questions, I'm watching my live stream. We're muted, and I'll answer any questions you got. But this wolf is going to take 9 shots out of this 9mm to kill, believe it or not. And he will charge as soon as I break a certain barrier. Take 5 hits. That's what I don't like about this game. It's not really realistic as far as the damage you do to animals. 5 hits with the 9mm. One decent shot should take any wolf down. Excuse me. But protein drinks, shakes that they give you for the tube feeding kind of gives me a little gas sometimes. Heartburn. I see nobody saying anything. Hopefully y'all there he is. Get too close to him. If I get too close to you, they'll turn and run. That's it. The bad thing about this game, even in the easy settings that I got in here, is that they don't give you enough resources to progress. Damn it. How did that miss? Didn't miss that one. Marine tried to take a bear. It takes 5 shots from a rifle to kill a bear. I guess we could set it easy mode. Resource nodes, they could pop up every once in a while. And again, they don't give you near what you need. dark. Time to start here and make the base to make sure the fire's still good. Take the meat out of the killed. Now the liver that I recovered off that wolf, we can have be used for food, cook it and eat it. We can refrigerate it and store it, use it for medicine. It's multi-use. We can add here, let's go on the top side and see if there's anything up here we can pick up. The food thing on this, you have to have protein, which is meats. Protein bars occasionally, you can find a protein bar. And you have to have fruits and vegetables, but you basically have to find and pick up. You can grow them, but I do have a grow house. Oh, gotta love it. It rains almost every day in this thing. Nothing. can't overcook this stuff, otherwise it'll burn and then the cooking drops a lot. And it cooks fairly fast. Okay, so here's my base so far. I'll put that up there so I don't. It's a mass fabricator that build up the mass in this because mass can only go up to 100 on its own. It costs energy to do it. This is the furnace. It costs energy to run it. That's how you break down the wood. I bet there's a energy storage. Wood burner is cook stove and heater. Workbench, which makes certain things, including components that you need for other stuff. The base command unit, which lets you make most of your things you need. But you have to have stuff like beds. This is hard to make. If you look here, you have to have antlers, ash, and fuel. The antlers I haven't got. I think you do what to do. So I have to fuel them. Now mass storage and energy storage is really generated in the fuel plot. Go up to 8 items. The generator takes the biofuel. A lot of it. Mass storage, energy storage. Much more energy than there's mass in this. Upstairs, I got an actual roof put on, and I got a bed. You can convert energy to this extra small. I got a solar cell, it's got one upgrade, but it don't make a lot of power. 0.01 per second. It's 16% light, which is rain and storm, so it won't make light. I have not found crystals yet. Don't know what I got, circuit boards I got, rope I've only got one, so we're gonna taste one. I put windows so I can see out of it. When it gets dark in this game, it gets dark. The reason I built this base here. So, I guess it's a good time to end this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.